G'day! Today we are playing session 57 of my Oxygen Not Included playthrough. And this is an exciting one as well because it is day 365, so it does mean that we are going to hit the achievement for surviving a full year in here. Thank you to those that have contributed any comments at all that have made me sort of survive this long. Okay, so the big question of the last one was what to do with my excess oxygen. Now, the only reason that I have the excess oxygen is because let's just get the ventilation looking at it so we can see it. The only reason I have the excess oxygen is because these guys are going to continue to pump. Now, interestingly, like that is really sort of emptied out a fair bit, so it's nice to see that this will sort of ebb and flow in larger chunks. And you can see this guy that doesn't use that sort of other side. And there we go. There's our 365.25 achievement. Just kick it in there. Yeah, we definitely were right on the cusp of that one. That's a lot of gas pipes. And look, we got Stinky, Ellie, Rowan. The original 3. Good to see you've made it that far, fellas. Okay, so anyway, back to this. So it will continue to run. It's just that, and you can see that this one will probably go a little bit longer than the other, but it will then just stop. Now the problem is that I am relying on these pumps here to give me electricity. So if it is stopping, then I'm not getting that electricity. So the idea is if the oxygen can continue to pump, then I can continue to get that electricity. The common suggestion was do nothing with this setup and instead just look at alternate energy supplies, which I think is a pretty understandable way of going about it. One person did suggest, and this was the one thing I'd think of too, that there is sort of just carbon dioxide down here. So what I could do is pull carbon dioxide out of the base, just sort of like have a pump that's pumping this out of the base and in favor of getting oxygen into this area here. I'm inquiring about that though, because I realize that I've got these guys down here who are doing that that function. Do we have our oxygen overlay? So if we're looking at this, you can see that this carbon skimmer's job is pretty much done. I mean, as long as that there isn't sitting in carbon dioxide, this guy's not going to activate, and we're well below that at the moment. These 3 guys here are slowly working on that, so if I was to change this, I would have to pull them out. I realize that having a gas pump that would be doing the job of pumping this out would then be a like a little bit extra power, but I mean, based on everything else I've got, it's probably not that important. And also, that would only be a very short-term fix because this would all get cleared out pretty quick. I don't think that there's enough there to worry about it. I think that these 3 guys can probably continue to function as is. I don't know if I should change something about this layout, though, so that there is like an airflow tile in this section that does allow I guess oxygen and carbon dioxide to move in and out of this section. So you can see, for example, there's a little bit of carbon dioxide just sort of sitting up there. These pieces here should eventually hit that gap, and then they'll come through. Because in theory, we'd almost want this a bit more flat. Like, we don't want it sitting as high, I guess. But I mean, this is just the unused part anyway. And I assume that as this becomes oxygen, this will come down. But I mean, that would also then mean need oxygen to actually go up this side to get it in here, which I'm not sure it would do. But I'm not sure if I say was to put a say an airflow tile here, is that more gonna create this bedroom actually getting carbon dioxide in it, or am I more likely to create that this is going to get pushed down? I don't know. At the moment, it's probably not too big an issue. Not too many people are having to deal in this section. They will, I have to go in and clean things, so it will be a problem. But we can definitely backburner that. Okay, so thank you for the suggestions for that. So I do agree. I think that we'll look at an alternate power supply. We're on the cusp of several different ones, so we can certainly look at it. So let me just mark that off. Next up. So we'll get to the actual building of that a little bit later. We won't do it at this point. Hatchlings. Okay, so the suggestion was someone did very kindly point out all the percentage chances of anything making hatchlings. Sorry, making the smooth hatchlings. Hatches that are eating sedimentary rock have a 7% chance of making a smooth hatchling, according to that. So they're definitely eating the thing that we want them to eat. Sorry, the hatches. The hatchlings can eat anything, so that doesn't much matter, so we can give them the sedimentary rock as well. And then when it comes to the smooth hatchlings, and the stone hatches, they can eat the iron. I think they have the same percentage chance. I'm not sure about that. We'll get rid of that for them. We'll just let them eat sedimentary rock too. Because I think that was the same percentage chance for that. So thank you for that. So basically what we've got is a 7% chance that one of these hatchlings will turn out to be a smooth hatchling. Otherwise we're just going to be stuck with a whole bunch of guys that aren't going to get us there. Can I see smooth hatchlings on the map? I guess I can have a look at least to see what one of these guys stops moving so quick for me. Can have a look to see if we can see a smooth hatchling looks like. That. No, I'm not sure I've ever seen one of those. So I assume that means that I do actually have to not come across one, make one. So I guess we just sort of sit and wait. Any other suggestions on improving my chances of getting smooth hatchings, I would happily hear about. Okay, next one was I am continuing to build the size of my thing here, my population. She looks very sleepy. You like someone who excavates, so she's not appealing. Decrease science, slow learner. Meep. That will just reject all there. I don't think we want any of that. See, there's a whole bunch of people just waiting around for orders here. So let me just double check. How are we doing with our digging? Alright, so we've gotten all the way down here. Let's continue to encourage them to just dig away. Go as far as we can see. Big old ladder. And let's have a look at what it looks like on the other side where we were digging. Good to see that that's back in. That is blocked because this is overpressurized here where this is attempting to pump out too. Get to that later. Okay, and this guy, they've gotten to the bottom here too. Now, as opposed to the other side, we actually want to come back this way a bit. So let's get them to dig to there. And then we'll get them to dig sort of across this way. It's because I don't have to hug right against the wall. We can be a little bit further out. And then what we'll do is we'll get a ladder just straight down here. So hopefully we can knock off 2 achievements today. But now, 365.25 days. And we now are going to try and get 80% exploration. Which, it's just these 2 bottom corners that we hopefully can get there. Right, okay, so the next one. Bigger bathrooms. Or more bathrooms. I do like that as a suggestion. I do only have 3 at the moment. You can just see at this very moment all 3 of them are in use, so there is certainly demand still there for them. So the question is, where do we fit in a bathroom in this little setup? I've been a bit reluctant to go anywhere into where there's sort of like chlorine or hydrogen, especially when it's going to come into my base. I wonder if anyone ever uses that bathroom there. So where is that one? It's a bit lower. What we could do is we could look to sort of make quite a lot of food areas that I feel like could be maybe converted. Like in here, I think would be a really good spot. So what we want to do is then is just shift all of this this meal wood. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we've got 20 spots of meal wood there. Is there anywhere that we can just replant our meal wood to get it out of the way? And make that a bathroom. So the bathroom's going to need to be, it's that 3 squares high. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. Floor would be there. Well, what that means is that we can probably leave this in place. We can actually probably just shift that to here, I wonder. Let's go. Food, won't it? Farm tiles. No harm in going all the way across there. So then what we'll do is we will uproot that, and then we'll copy the settings across all of them. No, that didn't copy the uproot call. No, alright. So, well, let's just declare deconstruct this whole row. Though we've got to be careful because now that, oh, at least they can stand underneath it as they move. Now that actually is going to need to move down 1, 2. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. In theory, what I could actually do is just sort of push this line a little bit out this way a bit more. And then problem solved. So let's go. Let's get someone to build that across there. We'll then get someone to build just tiles. Oh, uproot that mirth leaf. Problem is that's going to end up with this like polluted oxygen and stuff in the room. So what we're going to do is my old little trick to try and push oxygen out, as opposed to, like, what I could do is I could just build a wall straight here. But instead what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this wall so that this oxygen gets pushed this way. Then I'll build a wall here so it gets pushed this way, and then there, and then there, and then there, until all of this has just been pushed that way. And it's just the actual oxygen inside that has stayed inside. So that's been done, so then we can say, alright, we'll build that. So build that one spot. We can also start the planning process on guys that are inside the room. Can deconstruct the first wall because that one's in place. So the other thing was solar panels, solar generators is just something I'm curious about to try out. Probably do it while everyone's asleep. We can have a quick look. So I can have a look at a light overlay. Get an idea. What's lit, although that might not be the right light. Just temperature overlay. It's like they know how to keep it nice and cool inside their housing. Light overlay, right, okay, so I guess during the meteor shower it just went away. It's interesting that it does actually just say that the light will get all the way down. You can see that I guess it's getting slowly brighter and brighter, and the light up here is exactly the same as the light down here. So I guess that means that I could potentially bury some solar panels like quite down. And it was suggested that what I could do is then set up automation to close the bunker doors when the meteors hit. Now, I do wonder about how I do that, but I wonder if the automation, just based on what I saw, is that the automation could be if there's no light, then I've got to rebuild that ladder too, I guess. If there's no light, then wow, that whole thing's been blocked up. So this is obviously the problem if I don't have automation in place, have the doors in place. Now I think that they cost me something quite expensive to steel, so they're steel as well. That then leads us back to, alright, well if we want to go into that, then we've got to look at this guy operating. I wouldn't stress about that part of it yet, Travaldo. Alright, back to it. Cool, so that wall's up, so then what we can do is we can build this wall, and we can ask for that one to be deconstructed. I just check as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Temperature out there is quite high, but what we will do is insulate the roof. Go out to there, so that was 19 that I had there, so that would be 20 there, which then means that we can say, all right, let's build this one. Let's deconstruct those two. Curious if Ellie or someone's working on the ash cans down here. Slowly working on that. Surprising. Also, it doesn't surprise me that I will need the steel that's going to be able to take the brunt of a meteor shower. So I wonder what would happen if I say built an inlet like this. Like, will that still get hit by the light? Because if it does, then, like, does the light sort of only work directly down, or does it actually hit that? Even it, like, is that sort of like a little exploit you can use? Because if so, then cool. I could just set up some solar panels, sort of like that. Okay. Alright, another wall built. So then we can just say copy. And then we can deconstruct that guy and that guy. Copy the settings of him to get those three going. We can do those two as well. So they're going to have a little bit of a... Well, they have, I guess they can't have that done until wall's gone. Probably dig out the top of this too if anyone feels inspired. Treat for you, Ellie, while you're in there. Just a big... Does also feel like something that I've just not progressed in any way. The food situation. They have now been in here a year and they've been eating mealwood and its tastelessness for that entire time. Okay, so then what we'll do is we will copy this and we will just build straight down with that wall. So you can see there that this installation's doing a pretty good job of keeping these guys safe from the hotter temperatures outside. And then we can deconstruct these two. And these two. There we go. Successfully kept the chlorine out and the oxygen in. Alright, so that's all gone, which means that we can then deconstruct. So we'll have to start at the back here and work our way over, because otherwise they won't be able to reach those ones at the back. Oh no, they can do it from below. Cool. Okay, so we will go a 3-high bathroom, I believe. Just double check. Doesn't seem like they're hitting that higher point, so go 3. And we'll put at least one airflow tile. Alright, so how much can we fit in here? So we'll go... Into food poisoning, good. Increase food morale bonus. Well, I hope you like mealwood. Increase decor morale bonus. Gonna do decorating errands. I just wonder why that comes under like a positive. I think it just must be because that's a positive. It's sort of like the breaking even. Not do doctoring errands. Doctoring errands. Increase medicine. Increase germ resistance. No, you must have invested your time in doing one. What do we think? I'm still not sold yet, Marie. Do want to get someone else in here. I also thought, well, I wonder if someone's going to suggest that as my breathing issue. Just get more people to breathe. I'll get my oxygen being used. But the good thing at the moment is that these two guys are still connected to this network. So even if this does go down at the moment, the coal generators will still kick into gear, and we do still have 20 tons of coal, so shouldn't be a problem. Let's have a look at how many of these we can fit in. Auto rotate. With 3 of them, and that means that we'll have to go 2 sinks. And then we're going to have to figure out our plumbing for this. Okay, so this is our sewerage line, so that's nice and easy to connect to. And just looking at this, we can see it is reminding me that green goes out to sewage. So we can just run straight across there, in, done. Now for water, it's actually a lot closer than we realized here. It's just here. What we can do is we can just scoot that across one, run it straight up here, and across. It's funny that I'm so short on polluted water, and I've got absolutely to the brim in all my normal water. Not a concern that I realized I would have. Alright, has anyone gotten to digging at the top? Yes. It looks like a whole bunch of stuff collapsed as it happened. So, then we can have a look at the light overlay. No. Cool. Alright, so you can't trick it into having light not casting down. Light is just a pure direct down thing. I probably could answer that question if I just looked right there. Steel. Or I can also just try and solve in part this where have I shot to? My base. I can try and sort this guy out by just putting his gas vent somewhere where it's actually will vent. Let's go pump it into space or something, I suppose, if it's just carbon dioxide. I mean, that'd just make it a really long pipe, though. Anything, I'm just going to be a little bit disappointed that we don't hit the other achievement today. Let's have a look at how close we've gotten. That one's definitely getting there. I reckon I could have... I reckon I actually possibly could have got close to that. I did use a lot of just the running energy in the early days. That one does seem achievable as a sort of like you could make a little colony and just get to it. 78.7%. Come on, guys. Let's try and get to the end of this. Now, another part that we actually can explore that they do seem a little bit more open to exploring was up here. So all we've got to do is if they're willing to dig this out, just dig down here. I realize that a lot of this is going to collapse on them, so I'm going to be careful at least. And across there, let's reveal a little bit more. The granite that collapses? What's collapsing on them? I think Ellie's straight to this one. Not really the one I was after you doing for me, Ellie, but... It's alright, percentage is percentage. See, every step across, she's me the tiniest little bit. So, bit of a dig about here. Work our way up a little bit. Or is this the stuff that's going to start collapsing on her? Someone else heading back up? No. And I realize that the focus of the next one is going to have to be, see, they are getting down here too, and that's huge chunks that these guys are going to be kicking into. It looks like we've got our goal of what we want to reach down here. So let's go, I think they preferred just digging over, building ladders, like they seem to get through it much quicker. Let's see if I can at least encourage them a little bit to dig it as opposed to ladder it. It's this bit here. How close are we coming? So I suppose I could try and swing someone from this middle section down over here too. What can we do? I guess we can sort of justify this by trying to connect this section of oil to the remaining section. Just get that connected. And just feel free to wander that way. The natural gas is now sinking below him. We do need to have this. There's got to be one of these that's related to pressure. Oh. Not that one. So basically what I need to be able to look at is what's the there we go. I think we hit it. Boom. Nice. Picking boxes today. How close are we on that one? Yeah, it's a slow chipper as well. Okay, so this bathroom's all up. We just need to swap these sinks just to say it's that way. There's 11 of them, and they've now got 6 toilets, 7 if anyone actually ever uses that one. Closer to bedrooms a bit more too, so hopefully they like the new setup. It's good to see there's people digging, but it's like, it doesn't really matter anymore, guys, don't worry about it. Oh, they're actually the ones that achieved it, I guess, because they pushed hard. We'll allow it. Get the map to be more visible. guess, obviously, yeah, one thing I didn't do here at all was address the power issue. I think the way that I'm looking at that at the moment is that these guys are my ideal power. If I don't have the enough oxygen to move, that's fine. Let me know if you disagree that I actually should set it up so that I am pushing this carbon dioxide out and then getting more oxygen just in here. So this is just more oxygen in the base. I don't think I need to. It's, yeah, love to hear differences of opinion. I do want to get the solar panels going, but it does seem like I am going to need steel before I do that. So, and that needs glass. So for what I was looking at a while ago at building the giant statue, that's all going to then come down to same equipment. So whether I'm aiming for one or for the other. But it doesn't necessarily seem like solar panels are going to be the easiest way to go as the next route. Probably do need to just get the natural gas working. Yeah, so am I just missing where I can look at to see what the sort of the overpressuring, where that's located? Is that an overview or something I can look at just to give me an idea of where potentially I could also push the carbon dioxide from here, but potentially also the oxygen from here? Like, is there somewhere in the base that actually isn't overpressured that that can just deal with a bit more oxygen? And I also do realize I still have all of this set up down here, just not yet in use. And we do have this guy. I think will be a fun thing to explore very soon. Seems like I'm gonna have to crack a signal switch code here. Anyone come down? Oh, they did come down and dig that out. Alright, well this will be the last evening of this one. I think that hit's probably him. That's the guy I've got to go to. I don't think that that's currently connected, or did I reconnect it? Or my that one currently sits. Might be connected actually. Alright, any other questions or comments, feel free to chuck them below. And until next time, I'll catch you later. See ya.